So this is going to be the Blizzard Lalo training session. I have a couple of attacks to show you, but first I'll just go over the army. This is what I use. At Town Hall 12, I cut out the actual golem and take an ice golem instead and put an extra balloon in place. And for the clan castle, it's just the super wizards and then barbarians, but I don't have it now. Nobody filled it up. And then you use the blimp to get your people where you want them. So the first attack I want to show you all is going to be this one. So I'll show you this and then kind of go over my thought process here. So you start out with the blizzard, obviously, and I freeze the air sweeper if it needs done, which it did there. And yeah, so once your blizzard is done, then you start with your hero suicide. And then I funnel that using the 2 baby dragons. And then once you get enough value with your heroes, then you're going to start your lava or hero champion, depending on how this looks. I think this one I start my balloons first. And also, don't forget to put down your minions, because if you don't do them soon enough, you will time fail. Which is kind of something to get used to. Like up here, minion, and minions from behind too. Just kind of make sure you get them down early. And it's basically just clean up in here. So I'll go over that again, kind of explain my thought process there, and how I do things. So whenever I'm looking at this base, first thing I want to look for is if I can take down all with the lava. If I can, then I also use something else. It's just kind of hard for me personally to do Lalo into a town hall that's still up. So like this one, I know I could drop the Lalo like around this area, take out most of this, maybe grab the queen too. Um, that's kind of how I started out. So drop it here, drop the rage visibility, and also freeze here. Sweepers, always gotta look out for those. And then honestly, it's mostly just down to knowing the timing with the invisibilities. It's kind of hard to explain how it works. I don't. You just kind of get a feel for it once you do it enough. You kind of just let that go, and then after that's done, what I usually do is I look for like these 2 heroes here, the queen and the royal champion. You gotta take those down with either the Lalo or the blizzard or you can usually leave one up, which I can take out with the warden ability and then the 2 headhunters. But from here, kind of looking at this base now, I know if I send my heroes in this way, to kind of take out this compartment here and leave this area for Lalo to go through. So that's kind of why I did it there. It's kind of a good funnel. So kind of set down your and then once they get enough buildings cleared, you can start putting in your. So I do the golem. You can use an ice golem too. I just personally prefer the regular golem. And the other thing I forgot to mention with the blizzard too, I would have drawn this clan castle out if it would have had something in it. So that's also something you want to make sure of, that you clear that before you put down your balloons. So you kind of just let your heroes go, and I set out to freeze, so I use it on this one to save the king. And once like that's done, that's basically all the value they're going to get. You basically want to look for these two air defenses wherever the air defenses will be, so you can actually send your lava hounds correctly, so they actually tank for stuff. Usually, I'd like to send my road champion back this way, but I know I didn't have a freeze left or an invisible left over, and this single would just kind of take her out without getting too much. So I just sent her with the balloons instead. Yeah, so um, the way that I usually do it is I do the lava hound there, and then follow that up with like a set of balloons each, so they chain off of these. Then I'm gonna end up sending in another one here, so they chain for this area right here. Then you set down your champion so that or not your warden. Use your haste spells to kind of get through areas quicker, or to get through like to get them to get to like bigger defenses quickly. I put it down here because I wanted to get them to get through that world champion a lot quicker than just sitting around there. And then I use the ability here just to save them from that scatter shot. And then you also want to make sure that you're putting down your minions. That's something to always look out for. Like scan around the base, like up here, there's something easy to forget about, but just drop 2 minions there so you don't time fail. The biggest thing for this attack is I like to think of it like the clan capitals. You're doing a couple of separate attacks to set up for each one. So like the first attack you do is a blizzard. So you set up your hero suicide, and then you use your hero suicide to set up for the lava. So kind of thinking of it as three separate attacks. It makes it a lot easier. Like when I started out, when I started to think of it like three different attacks, it made it a lot easier for me. Does anybody have any questions for the next attack, or want to see that again or anything?
No, but it's a bit blurry. Maybe you can restart the video.
Yeah. Just restart the Discord video.
Yeah.
Uh, is this any better?
Yeah.
All right. Now let's go into the next attack. So this one is a pretty common base. I'm sure you guys have all seen variations of this. So when I'm looking for this, like I said, first thing I look for was a town hall. I knew if I dropped the super wizards, like I was hoping to get them right here on top of this scatter and take out all this stuff right here. But I mean, it didn't end up working out. But I'll show you guys how. So I knew it was kind of wishful thinking to actually be able to drop it right here. So instead, it ends up hitting outside the walls. So from here, I actually ended up invisibilitying this thing first, knowing that I dropped in wizards kind of badly. I kind of take out this backside stuff first. Ended up getting a champion with it too. I wanted to make sure I got that down first. And then I take invisibility to target that. And I take it off the scatter shot to get the other stuff around it. Yeah, and then from here, I wanted to get this scatter shot with my heroes. So I ended up dropping them to do that. And from here, I also dropped the champion to take down this and kind of make a better funnel for my loons. I knew that the single would probably get distracted by the heroes over there, so that's why I dropped the champion now. But it ends up targeting on her, which is fine. I just dropped the freeze for it. And then from here, it kind of sets me up for the Lalo from this side. So there's a air defense there that I can put the hound down to make sure it'll target it, and then follow that up. And it's also best to usually be patient with it. You don't want to just spam all your balloons. Kind of want to let it develop first. And then just putting down your cleanup troops afterwards. All right, does anybody have any questions on that attack? All right. And the last one to show you is this attack here. So this one's in the war. So the way I scouted it out, I saw that this is all kind of grouped up here. This is just great blizzard value. All the scatters, the eagle, the air sweepers, the town all right there. Originally, I kind of thought of coming in like this way and kind of landing them here. That would be like a little bit safer. But honestly, this air defense is a little bit in. So I knew that the hound I send with the blimp would be able to tank for a pretty decent amount of time. And really, the blimp only really need to get from like to right here. So after the hound leaves, after the hound stays on this air defense, the blimp only needs to get like not very far. So that's kind of how I started out. I knew that once I take out this kind of area, that would kind of set me up pretty well for the heroes. To be honest, I don't really try to plan where I'm putting on my heroes before I attack. I mostly just plan the blizzard, and then however that ends up, I kind of use that to I use that and kind of go off wherever I think the heroes will be best. Set down for that attack. I don't really have a solid plan going in. It's mostly just does this look good for blizzard? If yes, then I'll just do the blizzard, see how it turns out, and then use the heroes to make the best funnel possible or get the best amount of value possible. So that's kind of how I scout things for this attack. Yeah, so sending in the blimp here, I wanted to land on this air sweeper. And then I froze that because I knew it could screw up the blimp. But yeah, just drop it there with your rage invisibilities and just kind of let them go. And then I start the heroes over here because I knew it could take out this air defense and also grab the queen. And there's really not a lot of big defenses left, so this kind of is for funneling. I knew that once like this area of stuff is cleared, I could probably start my Lalo down this way. And I dropped the champion here, just kind of help with these defenses again. Like they're all clustered here. I also saw the queen and the king splitting, so I knew the queen kind of take out, at least this little bit here, and the king and world champion could go out and clear a good bit by themselves. And then from here, honestly, I kind of had a whenever I was doing this attack, I kind of noticed I should have gone from this side, I believe. But I mean, that's just because this air defense is still left up. But I mean, it dies pretty shortly after this. But honestly, this kind of screwed me up because there's only this air defense left. I wanted to start my balloons from over here. So it kind of was a challenge with and I don't really think for the balloons for the longest amount of time. So that's kind of why you see me pause after this. Like I should have started this sooner. I was kind of at risk of time failing it just because I waited for a little bit. Like here, I'm trying to decide where I want to start my balloons at because I knew this air defense. It was just that. But I ended up just going from this side and it worked out. So kind of with the way the air defense was set up, I knew I kind of had to get it down quicker. So it kind of looks spammy, but you kind of have to deal with how the attack's going at that point. And right here, I dropped these headhunters to go take this. But honestly, it looks like a lava pups would have killed her. And I use a word ability to make sure they get down there. But yeah, just end up not really much of that base left. A lot of stuff left over. All right, so that was the last attack that I really had to show. What questions do you guys have? All right, so I guess no questions then. Were there any questions in like the text chat? Did anybody see?
In the chat. Any
All right, that's
bases
all I
you
really had
wouldn't
to show.
any bases you wouldn't attack with it?
What'd
Like
you say?
is there like a base that is literally a no-go for Bliss Lalo?
Um, yeah, ones I don't like to attack are where it's just kind of like here, I'll show you real quick. Let me text my mom back and I'll show you. The biggest thing for me is I don't like to attack bases where I can't get like the town hall and like other couple like bigger defenses. Like this base here. Like yeah, I could send the blizzard in here and I really take out town hall, wizard tower, and some cannons. And honestly, the wizards would probably just not even get these expos. It kind of leaves all this bigger stuff here. So I wouldn't like something like this base for it because you also have then these air sweepers left over, which I didn't really touch on the attacks that I showed, but they can really mess up your attacks if you leave them up. There are always something that you want to plan around. Um, yeah, so like a base like this, like everything's spread out, so it's not very good for Lalo because you drop it here, you get the town hall, and not much else. And there's still scatters, eagle, um, inferno's up. You got your both your heroes back here that you have to take care of, so it makes it a lot more challenging. Like I assume you could do it, but it's not something that I would want to try. Like you could probably hero charge into here, take out that compartment, and maybe get the queen with that. And then maybe start your Lalo back here, but that's still a long way for it to go, and it's just probably better to use some other attack. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, one of the key things is the blizzard value,
Yeah, for
and
me it is. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that can just kind of do Blizzard on any base. They're that good at it. I'm
mhm,
not. I kind of just like to do it for stuff that I know is going to work. That just kind of makes it easier for me.
that's nice.
It's really good against like bases with like the reason I chose it for this base, centralized town hall surrounded by all this stuff. It's just a ton of value if once you get your Blizzard down, you take out both sweepers, you take out the scatters, you take out this. It's just super simple. Like something like this, like it would be hard for me to do like hybrid and queen walk because you got to get your queen to the town hall to get that out. You got to get your queen to here to get out. So it's just kind of something else to have for these like centralized town hall bases. Like you don't see them too often in wars anymore, but I don't know. They were difficult for me, which is why I started doing the Blizzard Law though, just because it was honestly made it really simple. Like if I see like a centralized town hall now, it's pretty easy just to do this attack and get 3 stars. All right, any other questions? All right, I assume not. But yeah, thanks guys for coming. If you have any questions or anything or need any help, you want to try it, just let me know. Just ping me on Discord and I'll be more than happy to help you out.